Okay, welcome. Tonight we're going to be talking about East Bay Community Energy as an introduction with a business focus for those businesses that will be enrolled in the cities of Newark, Tracy, and Pleasanton come April 2021. This will be a general overview of EBCE, and we'll have some time for question and answers as well. My name is Danny Kelly. I'm an account services analyst here at East Bay Community Energy. And I'm here with my colleague, Kelly Brezovic. Kelly, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Kelly Brezovic, Senior Manager of Account Services at East Bay Community Energy, and we're happy to welcome you to our survey.
Thanks, Kelly. So I'll go ahead and give the presentation. Throughout the course of the presentation, feel free to type questions in the chat, and we'll either answer them directly there, or at the end of the presentation, we'll have some time where we can, talk and discuss and answer questions verbally. So whichever way you prefer there. And then once again, this meeting is being recorded and may be used in the future. So please do keep that in mind. So why don't we get started? Does it look good, Kelly? All right. Okay, once again, thank you. We're here today to talk about East Bay Community Energy. The cities of Newark, Pleasanton, and Tracy have recently decided to join East Bay Community Energy, and we will begin serving them in April. So we just wanted to take this opportunity to discuss EBCE, what it means for your business, and answer any questions you may have. So that being said, what is EBCE? East Bay Community Energy, we're a local power supplier committed to providing Alameda County and the city of Tracy with cleaner, greener electricity at lower rates. So we're a public agency committed to reinvesting our earnings back into the community to create local green energy jobs, local energy programs, and clean power projects. So how does it work? East Bay Community Energy, we're responsible for the electricity generation service. So if you want to think about your electricity service in two ways, you have the generation of that electricity and then getting those electrons from the power source to your business. And EBCE is responsible for the first part, buying the power. PG&E will continue to deliver the power to you, maintaining the wires, as well as sending you the bill. But EBCE will now show up on that bill, replacing what PG&E used to charge you for generation with our own generation charges. And I have an illustration of how that will look on your bill here. As you can see, EBCE's charges are right there on the first page of a customer bill. You continue to receive electric charges and gas charges from PG&E. However, your electric charges are unbundled and split into two line items, the delivery line item, as well as the generation line item from East Bay Community Energy. And then if you continue parsing through your bill, you'll find the East Bay Community Energy generation specific page. Typically, a few pages down on page 3 or 4 of your bill, you'll find this. And here you can see specifically what EBCE is charging you for. You can see what rate schedule you are on. With East Bay Community Energy, you continue to stay on whichever rate schedule you select with PG&E. However, you have the option to choose between a few different power mixes with EBCE, which we'll touch upon later. But you'll be able to see your rate schedule here, as well as your power mix. So for instance, this customer is on a rate schedule of A1X and a power mix or a product of Bright Choice. And for those customers on our Bright Choice option, you can even see how much you saved during that particular billing cycle. This customer saved $2.49. If you're on our premium renewable option, you can see exactly how much more you're paying per month here as well. So let's take a step back and talk about the history of EBCE and how this came to be. It really starts back in the early 2000s with some laws that were passed in California to allow communities to come together to form their own public agencies to provide electricity generation. Without a community coming together to do this, most residents and businesses, they typically only have one option for electricity generation. And up here in the East Bay, that was PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric, the investor-owned utility. Then throughout California, counties started banding together, cities started coming together to form their public agencies to provide an alternative to the investor-owned utility. And so here in Alameda County, that Joint Powers Authority was formed in 2017, and East Bay Community Energy began serving most of Alameda County in 2018. The cities of Tracy, Pleasanton, and Newark later joined in 2019, and we will begin serving them in April of 2021. And so one important thing to note here is that when a city votes to join a CCA or Community Choice Aggregator, residents and businesses are automatically transitioned from the existing investor-owned utilities generation to the new CCAs generation. So your business in one of these new cities will automatically switch from PG&E's generation to EBCE's generation unless the customer specifically requests not to transition over. So it is an opt-out process. And that's important to note. We'll talk more a little bit about what the options are coming up here, but that is something I did want to highlight. So as we approach enrollment here in April, EBCE will be sending notices to our customers. You may have already received our physical letters that we sent out this month in February. And then going forward, we will either send you an email or a letter, depending on whether or not we have an email on file for you. This is an example of what our February notice looked like. So you can keep your eye out for our logo and your letter in the mail. So East Bay Community Energy to date, we serve Alameda County as well as the city of Tracy. As I mentioned, in 2018, we began serving our initial cities and the county of Alameda. So you can see all the cities mentioned there as well as the unincorporated parts of Alameda County in green. Those are who we began serving in 2018. The island of Alameda receives their own municipal power and is not with East Bay Community Energy. And then the cities of Newark, Pleasanton, and Tracy, as I mentioned, voted to join a little bit later, and now we will begin serving them in April of 2021. And then beyond Alameda County, I just wanted to highlight that CCAs do exist elsewhere. You can see here on this map, the areas highlighted in the deep blue have existing CCAs, and then the gray and yellow are on their way to forming CCAs. So you can see that this is actually, something widespread throughout California. In regards to the numbers of, how much do CCAs, how much of a role do they play in terms of generation or savings? You can see that over 3,600 megawatts of new clean generation capacity have been contracted through CCAs in California, which is awesome. EBCE serves about 10% of the load in PG&E's service area, which is quite large. We've saved our customers $10 million last year in 2020 and have saved $20 million for our customers to date. So with East Bay Community Energy, not only do you have the additional option of choosing between us, the public agency, or PG&E, the investor-owned utility, you also have a few options within EBCE for choosing what your power mix is. So businesses and residents within the cities of Tracy and Newark will default to our Bright Choice option. That option is 1% less than PG&E's generation rate after all additional fees are considered. Customers save 1% on our Bright Choice rate. And it's about 5%, it's targeted to be 5% more renewable than the state requirement. So, cleaner and a little bit cheaper for our customers, which is great. Businesses and residents within the city of Pleasanton will default to our Brilliant 100 option. The city council has selected the Brilliant 100 option as the default. So unless you are a CARE, FARA, or medical baseline, one of these special rate customers in the city of Pleasanton, you will default into our Brilliant 100 option. That option is 100% carbon free, and it's priced at the same price as PG&E, so no financial difference to the customer, which is also great. And if you are in Pleasanton on one of those CARE, FARA, or medical baseline rates, you'll default to our, you'll default to our Bright Choice option that I mentioned before, the savings option. Additionally, we have a 100% renewable option. That is priced at a penny more per kilowatt hour, but it is sourced entirely from California wind and solar energy. And if you're wondering what the difference is between Brilliant 100 and Renewable 100 and carbon-free energy and renewable energy, the main difference is that Brilliant 100 is composed of some large hydroelectricity, which is GHG-free, but not considered renewable by California standards. So that's the primary difference there in terms of the power mix. And then in terms of the price, Renewable 100 is a slight premium. Brilliant 100 is the same price as PG&E's standard bundled rate. So those are your options. While I mentioned what businesses and residents will default to, each customer has the ability to select whichever power mix they would like for themselves. So, if you're a Pleasanton business defaulted into Brilliant 100, you have the ability to opt up or down to Renewable 100 or Bright Choice. And then likewise, if you're in Tracy and you want to opt up to Brilliant 100 or Renewable 100, you have the ability to do so. Then once again, customers can always opt out and return back to PG&E's bundled service. So where exactly are we getting our power from? East Bay Community Energy, where we have entered into a number of long-term and short-term contracts with existing energy facilities. But in addition to that, we want to add more renewables to the grid. So here we have highlighted some of our long-term power purchasing agreements or PPAs that will actually add renewables to the grid, which is great. So you can see to date, we have 9 projects contracted. That's over 550 megawatts of wind and solar, as well as 150 megawatts of battery storage, which is becoming more and more important. And we actually just had our first ribbon cutting ceremony on one of these solar plants. So that's where EBCE is getting our power from, and we will continue to be a player in adding renewables to the grid. Outside of your generating your electricity for you, we want to help customers adopt and participate in the clean energy transition. So we'll be offering a number of programs for our residential and commercial customers, similar to programs you might have taken advantage of with PG&E. You'll still be eligible for most of PG&E's programs, as you are still a PG&E customer on the delivery side. But in addition to that, you'll be able to take advantage of programs that EBCE offers. While we have yet to, while we're still in the works of our commercial programs, we do have a couple of residential programs that are running right now. One is our Resilient Home program that you see on the left there. That's a program targeted to add solar and battery storage to residential homes in EBCE service area so that they can keep critical load powered up the next time the PG&E grid goes down, which is really important as we see, we've seen with the increased risk of wildfires, more and more outages. We want to help our customers keep their lights on or keep their fridge cold or whatever, keep their medical appliances powered up. So that's a really cool program that we're currently running. So I would recommend you take advantage of that and look into it if you're a residential customer in our service area. And then the program on the right there is highlighting a lender program that we are currently running to help customers borrow a free induction cooktop to practice cooking on as well. So I've gone over a lot there. I just wanted to wrap things back up here, and why go through the hassle? Why has the county, why has your city voted to join East Bay Community Energy and transition from PG&E's generation to ours? The first thing that I'll start with is lower rates. As I've mentioned, we have a Bright Choice option that allows customer savings, which is really important to a lot of customers. So lower rates is certainly one reason. Local control and investment is another. We are a public agency, so we are governed by locally elected officials. Your city has a locally elected official that sits on our board of directors, and you as a citizen can come and have your voice heard. Sorry, you as a community member can come and have your voice heard and participate in our public meetings. Everything is open to the public, so I would encourage you to do so and see how these things work. It's quite interesting. Additionally, as a public agency, our funds get reinvested into our community, and we're looking to add local jobs to our community. So lots of great reasons there in terms of local control and investment. And then in terms of sustainability, as I mentioned, customers can opt up to a GHG free or a more renewable option today. Even our base option is targeted to be more renewable than the state mandates, and we're adding additional clean power sources to the California grid, as well as helping customers electrify their appliances and whatnot. And then finally, customer choice. As I've touched upon, you now have the ability to choose between PG&E as well as EBCE, and then you have multiple choices within EBCE as well. So what's next for you? I would definitely recommend checking out some more of our information. Please reach out to us and ask any questions you may have. You can join our email list and get on our newsletter list to stay up to date. Follow us on social media, lots of great stuff going on there. And then certainly take a look and make sure that you are enrolled in whichever one of our 3 options that you want to be enrolled in. And you have the ability to change between to select whichever option you would like for each of your electric meters. So please reach out to us. You can do that online or over the phone, and we can assist you with that as well. And then before I get into the Q&A here, I did also want to talk about one very topical thing, which is the new business time of use rates that launch next month here in March, just a few days away. So the state of California is shifting businesses and residents into time of use rate periods that better align with what we're seeing today in the California energy market. And so in PG&E's service area, what that means for businesses is all businesses will transition to a business time of use rate, or B rate, in March 2021. The time buckets may be a little bit different. If your business has already been enrolled in the time of use rate, you may be familiar with these rates. However, the time periods and the seasons have changed since the previous time of use rates, or perhaps time of use rates are brand new to your business and you're not familiar, in which case we have more information available. But I would encourage all businesses to take a look here and see that there are different pricing incentives to encourage customers to use energy when it is cleanest and cheapest, and then try to shift load wherever possible away from that 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. period throughout the year when energy is typically the most expensive and the dirtiest. So now at this time, I'll open it up to Q&A. I'll just put the contact information on the screen here as we answer any questions. Kelly, do we have any questions as of right now? It's hard for me to see.
No, nothing came in through the chat during the presentation, but we can hold the line open for just a few minutes in case anyone has anything. You're welcome to either use the chat function or raise your hand, and we'll be able to see that.
Sounds like we covered everything in the slides, I guess. All right, well, not seeing anything, I think we'll end it there then. Thank you very much for calling in and listening tonight. And feel free to please contact us, contact me. I have had my contact information up there. It's just my name, D for Danny, and then Kelly, D-K-E-L-L-Y at ebce.org. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. And you can always give us a call at our 1-8333-699-3223 number, as well as emailing our customer-support@ebce.org email. And we're happy to answer any questions you may have. So thank you very much and have a good night, everyone.
Good night.